You got someone watching out for the traffic flow going into the supermarket here today. That's a first. Usually it's just a free-for-all, so I would have thought things would start slackening off the longer this is going on, but no. Yeah, decided to shop about 1:30. I thought it might be quiet, but it wasn't. It was quite busy. So I think I noticed that they've got plenty of toilet paper on the shelves here too now, but it's the same as Woolworths. They're all brand names, so they cost more, and they're in big packs. So there isn't the same selection that you used to have, and whether they're going to bring the generic ones back or not, I don't know, because I like them because they're in large rolls, and so they lasted quite a long time, but they weren't super bulky to carry, and they were reasonably cheap. But I may not be able to see those in the future. Apparently the Coles bottom line wasn't that great. They had a huge boost in sales, which is what I expected, but it didn't lead to increased profits. So I guess they had contingency costs involved. They had to employ a lot more new people, and they may end up having to shed staff when this panic sort of evaporates, which I think it already has. I think people have given up on hoarding toilet paper. So that's good in a way. It's pretty quiet up here on Monday. It's a public holiday, Labor Day, so a long weekend. So I haven't been out for a few days, so about 3 or 4 I'd say, and I haven't done any information online either. Apparently I was just watching Matt Christensen. He's a very good blogger from the States, somewhere in the Plain States in the Central America in the States, and he was saying that apparently the head of YouTube, Susan, she calls her Wiki. She's got some Eastern European surname, which is a bit of a tongue twister. Anyway, she's decided that you can't contradict what the WHO says, which is absolutely ridiculous, because they're not the authority on everything. As a matter of fact, they're quite corrupt. And of course the wind's blowing up again. Damn, every time I turn a corner I hit a new lot of wind here. It's a very windy city, and overcast and windy today. It's windy most days, mind you. I can't believe it, they're actually, even the supermarket's closed today. Not every shop, that shop's open, but the Woolworths is closed. I'm absolutely staggered. Thought that'd only be Good Friday. I guess it's Labor Day. I guess they'll take the day off, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't expect that. I had a feeling it may not be a successful walk because the so quiet here today. But I mean, it's okay to get out of the house. Luckily I've got enough stuff. The only thing I can't get is grog, but I'm not worried about that because I finished off my sake yesterday. Didn't go down as well as I remember. I did heat it up. I used to do it in the microwave, because I don't have a microwave now, so what I did was I just I immersed a glass in warm water to heat up the liquid, because you don't drink vast quantities of sake at a time, so it's just a little liqueur glass. And I just left that in for a minute or two, and it warmed up the sake. It's much nicer when it's warmer compared to cold sake. I found that out years ago, although some people like to drink it cold. But yeah, it didn't do much for me. It could be the type of sake. I mean, there's certain types of gin I don't like, so you know. So one thing I do remember enjoying is Japanese, is plum wine. That's quite nice. But yeah, I'm very amazed that supermarkets closed today. Gee, I didn't expect that. That's a real turn up. Like I said, it's only Good Friday though. And even then I think they open at midday. So that's absolutely staggering. So it's actually more of a holiday than the weekend. I mean, Sunday they would have been open. If I'd known, I would have done my shopping yesterday. The guy outside the Woolworths is talking to a pigeon. You know, people get lonely up here. Yeah. It looks, when I walk back, it doesn't seem to be as bad with the breeze. It's always coming to the shops as worse. I don't know what the reason behind that is, but anyway, it's a little better now. there's bugger all traffic on the road, but that's normal anyway. But there's a lot, nothing's open, just a couple of clothing stores. I think they had to be shut. Yeah, they did. They actually, one of the few things that have just recently reopened is clothing stores. Now that's another weird thing with this corona shutdown thing. There's like a 50-kilometre limit from that you can travel now. I didn't even know you were limited to less than that in the past. Maybe it was a kilometre or something, but I'd never even thought about it. But yeah, unless you've got an emergency reason or essentials. I don't know if grog becomes essentials going to Dan Murphy's, because I did that. Maybe I was breaking the actual rules, who knows. It's just crazy. I mean, still think the whole thing's really over the top, and Matt Christensen agrees with that too, and he makes a very good argument against these draconian measures that have come into force. Just a way, too much of an overreaction for too long, basically. Initially fine, had no problem with it, but I think now we know this is not the Black Plague. Oh, the Jimmy's is open. Place there. Yeah, it's weird. Some places open, but most aren't. Not quite sure what the rationale is. Oh, well, got the feeling of deja vu as I'm heading towards the city again today, going to Woolworths. Hopefully it'll be open today. It'll be very strange if it wasn't. It's a nice day though. The weather's improved, and it is a little cool in the morning. I was talking to a friend down in Brisbane, and he said he's rugging up in the mornings now. So he's putting on long pants and socks and what have you. It does get rather nippy, and I've got to admit it is getting cooler here in the mornings as well. But once the sun hits, it sort of warms up pretty quickly. It's quite pleasant now. But of course it's continually windy, so it's always a hassle trying to do these videos. To put things into perspective about Australia with this lockdown madness, it's good to see we're finally starting to ease restrictions, but we're doing it at a snail's pace. And I mean, it's better than nothing, obviously, but in where we could be worse off, and a worse off place would be Spain, where it's absolutely ridiculous what's happened there. They really had a heavy lockdown. They're finally easing up on it, but they've got this crazy system where you're only in major cities like Madrid, you're only allowed out for certain hours of the day. And I'm thinking that's a ridiculous system, because what if just certain people have got commitments at different hours, and those hours that are nominated just don't work in with their lifestyle. And it's very unfair. It's a stupid, cumbersome, confusing system. And even the guy, an Australian guy who's running a blog online talking about what's happening with the lockdown, he's definitely left of centre from what I can gather, but even he's critical of the government with these ridiculous restrictions being confusing in nature and what have you. And also they're talking about not getting back into decent shape with the economy until 2022, 2 years from now. It's a long time before normality is going to return to Spain. Spain's really stuffed. It's going to really take a big hit here. And I think the double whammy could be the disintegration of the EU, because that's the likes of Germany have been propping that place up for a long time. So I think Spain's in for a very rough run in the near future. And maybe not as bad as what happened to Greece, but it could get very ugly. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a lot busier today, a lot more traffic, a lot more people out. Yesterday was a classic public holiday, very, very quiet. So this is back to a normal day. So it's good. I mean, like I said, it was good to get out yesterday. It's just frustrating that I couldn't record anything because of the weather. It really is annoying. This wind, constant wind, it's the bane of my existence here. And heavy trucks too. You might notice there's a lot of background noise, and that's, yeah, especially this road, Mulgrave Road going into Florence Street. Don't know why they changed the name, but it turns to Florence Street around here, I think. And it's a bit of a traffic sewer. fat chance of social distancing there. Look, people waiting at the line for Medicare. This is the second time that's happened during a weekday. You can't avoid them. You've got to walk across the road to avoid the people waiting there. So Medicare should do something about that if they're serious. But of course, I don't believe people are serious. It's the usual virtue signalling BS. People just want to be seen to be doing the right thing, not because it's the right thing, just because they want to have the perception they're doing the right thing. It seems to be more important in this world. So, not good. All fingers crossed there will be, the supermarket will be open. I'll be able to do my shopping, get my greens. Luckily they lasted yesterday, so it's perfect timing. And have to get them replenished every 3 days or so if I want my fresh food. So I think it's important. But it's a lovely day here, apart from being a little breezy. It's not bad. So like I say, some businesses are now opening, like the closed stores, but I don't think they would have done any trade yesterday. There's just no one in here. So and they'd be struggling at the best of times. I want to see opening his old PJs. Hopefully there'll be some action there at some stage. But you can see they've got this construction fencing around there to protect the seating outside until they obviously get a chance to open again. Then they'll withdraw that, but obviously worried about vandalism at this stage because it's so quiet in the centre. I mean, it's always fairly quiet, but it's even more quiet now. So yeah, the noodle outlet's closed, the Vietnamese joint. Not that I ever eat there, because I obviously eat my Vietnamese in Vietnam for two reasons. It's authentic and cheap. And not that it, I mean, it may be authentic here, but it's not going to be cheap. So there's no way. I should learn how to make myself some phar bowl. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.